You celebrate a 10% profit on your investment, but when you go to the market, everything is 15% more expensive. Are you really making money, or you are just losing it slower than you think? Welcome to this space where we turn everyday corporate professionals into master investors. Today, we are decoding the financial jargon that institutions use to confuse you, taking you on a journey from micro basics to macro wealth building. But I need you to note that this video is strictly for educational purpose and is not a financial advice. Now let's dive in. Look at the stack of gold coins on your screen. Let's assume this is your principal. It's the base of your wealth building architecture. It is the original sum of money you commit to an investment before a single kobo of interest is applied to it. Let's look at a real world scenario using the March 2026 FGN Savings Bond. The units for this bond was priced at exactly 1,000 naira each. To get started, you need a minimum starting foundation of 5,000 naira to buy 5 units, and you can scale this all the way up to maximum of 50 million naira. The best part about this specific asset is that the federal government guarantees that at maturity, this exact foundational amount, called the principal, is returned to you through a bullet payment structure. So now you know as an investor what the principal means. It's simply the money you put in before getting any form of interest at all. But your principal needs to work for you, right? And that is where the coupon rates come in. Think of the coupon as the steady heartbeat of your fixed income cash flow. It is the fixed guaranteed annual interest rate promised by the issuer relative to the bond's face value. Check out the March 2026 FGN bond offering right on the screen. A 2-year horizon gives you 12.906% per annum, while a 3-year horizon bumps that to about 13.906%. So let's apply the math to a payout mechanism. If you invest 100,000 naira as your principal at the rate of 13.906%, it yields exactly 3,476.50 every 3 months. And this interest drops into your account in March, June, September, and December of every year. So now you know what the coupon rates are and how they are used in financial terms. Now, when do you get your original money back? This brings us to the maturity date. The maturity date marks the termination of your investment contract. It is the exact future date when the issuer is legally obligated to return your initial capital in full. So if you follow the timeline on the screen, your journey starts at the settlement date. Let's say March 11, 2026, which is when you give your capital to the issuer. Over a 3-year period, you collect 12 quarterly coupon payments. Finally, when you reach your destination on March 11, 2029, your exact principal is handed back to you in an instant payment. But this is where most beginner investors get confused: the coupon versus yield. While a coupon is a fixed promise, the yield fluctuates with market pricing. The yield is the actual annualized return generated on an investment when factored against the specific price that you paid. Take treasury bills as a perfect example of a discounted yield. Unlike bonds, treasury bills pay interest upfront by selling at a discount. You take an action by paying a discounted price today, for example 90,000. When you get to the maturity date 1 year later, you receive the full 100,000 naira face value. That 10,000 naira profit represents your yield, and it was generated purely by the price discount rather than a fixed quarterly coupon. But to truly master the arts and science of money in Nigeria, you must look at the macro economy. The biggest dial controlling your money is the monetary policy rate, also known as the MPR. This is the baseline interest rate, which is set by the CBN, acting as a foundational lever that dictates both the cost of borrowing and the reward of saving across the entire economy. Looking at our macro dashboard from 2026, the CBN cut the rate by 50 base points, bringing the current rate to 26.5%. So why should this matter to you? It's because of the ripple effect. When CBN adjusts the MPR, commercial banks are forced to reprice. Consequently, maximum lending rates tracks the MPR, historically pushing as high as 29.69% when the MPR was quite elevated at the time. So this is why we need to pay attention to the macroeconomic scale for us to understand what really drives the economy and how money works in Nigeria. Now, there is a silent thief that is actively trying to steal your funds and your money. This thief is inflation. This is the macroeconomic rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rise. It subsequently erodes your purchasing power and determines exactly what your principal can actually buy tomorrow. Let's take a look at the NBS data snapshot for February 2026. Headline inflation hits 15.06%, food inflation hits 12.12%, and core inflation at 15.88%. Now, it's time for some harsh reality check. A nominal gain of 10% on your principal means absolutely nothing if the cost of everyday goods that you need rises by 15.06% in the same period. So, the value of your money is mathematically shrinking. And this leads us to the most important formula that you have to take note of in your financial journey. Nominal yield minus inflation rate equals real return. This is the true measure of wealth creation because it calculates what your cash is actually earning after accounting for the destruction of your purchasing power. Look at the 2026 paradigm shift for context. For 15 years, Nigerian cash earned negative real return, averaging at a minus 5.48% annualized loss. But in February 2026, the market pivoted, delivering a positive 4.39% real return. And why is this so? This was because the nominal return on T-bills finally outpaced the falling 15.06% inflation rate. So, as a young professional, if you want to secure your bag, you must master the macro to protect the micro. Always remember this: an asset's promise is written in its coupon or interest rate, but its actual value is dictated by the broader economy. So this is why you need to look out for investment vehicles that would give you positive real returns at the end of every investment tenure. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share this with a friend who needs to level up their finances. And let me know in the comment section if your current portfolio is beating the inflation rate. Stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.